And so it is, we do welcome Coptic Hans Kliphuis as he joins us for another presentation. 20, or actually 32 years of experience as a ballroom dancer, teacher, and a CEO of Setup Youth Productions. As we look forward to him stepping up in just a few short minutes. Coptic World Service Order and a teacher graduate, which is now the Self-Discovery Program. Year 2 of the Philosophy of Life with Coptic Fellowship. He went through that program. He's an AIDS survivor and empath, a channel for the Federation of Light and Archangel Michael, and Palladian Starseed as well. And we look forward to his divine wisdom through his masters, angels, and guides, his divine team. And tonight he will be presenting it. Feel your thoughts, think your feelings.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Yeah, I just can't hear them, right?
Right. They're all muted.
So, I mean, it's funny because I do this and I asked Jordan, I said, I'll just pull. And I just kind of asked Hamabay to guide my hand. I have all these on a shelf and pulled just that one. And it's very much in line with this title and basically what I've been hearing in my inner self and my the voices, I guess you could call them. And I thought this is a really catchy title. So feel your thoughts and think your feelings. I think this should be a class that we take when we're at least in middle school or even younger. I think it would be a very important class because I think these things we're taught, think, but we're really not equipped or trained how to define and process things that happen in our feelings and emotions. So they tend to get locked up until later in our little, treasure chest we call our subconscious, I guess. So there is a school or classrooms built inside all of us. The mind, the heart, and the body all inhabit our earth being and share in the expression and experience and manifestation of our personal and collective realities. We could say that we have 3 amazing wise consultants to help us to navigate this third dimensional experience. We have of our mind, the headmaster, we'll call the mind, the headmaster. And the mind gets the input from learning from the past and from others. It comes with ideas and logistics, measures, compares, contrast, and does a lot of that logical part. And it's kind of been said before, but I think it's important now that there's like a little system there. The second is our heart, the heart advisor. We're going to call that our advisor. So we have our headmaster and we have our advisor, which is our heart. And there it's built in the God light. And we feel our true knowing and emotional learning. I'll call it our soul mind. And then we also have the third one, which is the body. I'll call that the trainer. And the experience through the 5 senses is what the body and the trainer have to offer. And our choices the body actually reflects a lot of our choices from the heart and mind, stores a lot of our ideas and our emotional ideas, good and bad, stores stuff and carries it around in different parts that needs to things that need to be looked at that haven't been addressed or dealt with. Shows how we treat ourselves, shows how we think of ourselves. So it's very reflective, but it carries a lot of stuff that we don't realize and baggage and stuff but also carries good things as to manifest in the physical, and is our experience of our manifestation and experience of our self in a way, to make it, I guess, more tangible and real. So, when Christ said in constant, and most of our gurus, our messiahs and prophets said this over and over, the kingdom of heaven is within. I think that these three entities, or I'll call it energies, these three pods of energy that exist within us, I really feel as our own teachers. So, for instance, when we have a thought, if we were trained, or if we started to train ourselves more and more to have our heart advisor connect in this kind of pure loop with every thought that we have, that we take it from our headmaster and we take it and almost, I would say, wash it or bring it through our emotions and our heart chakra. I think it would be very, very good for us in our society. Because also, I think our heart chakra helps us separate thoughts that are kind of induced or brought in from our childhood, brought in from the outside, brought in from people that we give power to, that tell us certain things, or brought in by certain images of ourselves, and good and bad. So those, I think, really collect up. Sometimes we're run by those without even knowing. I think if we can kind of just take some time. I try to do this once in a while. It's really great when I'm in my garden, because I can just really loudly and boldly hear my repetitive thoughts, and they show up so clearly. And then I start to run those through, and so each thought or each image or each story about myself in the world, I try to basically bring it to my heart advisor and say, how does that feel? Does that feel like it's mine? Does it feel like it's loving? Does it feel like it's compassionate? Does it feel like it's true? And if all those questions that my heart advisor addresses is no, then I'll try to disconnect myself from that as much as possible. And I think this is a really good process for all of us. Children just don't have that opportunity, don't have the emotional capability right away to understand that. So as our adult, one really powerful, I don't know if people have done this before, if this is new, the Dalai Lamas gave us a very powerful thing that we can do to help our inner child as an adult. So as our adult, we can place ourselves in a chair, put our inner child in a chair in front of us, an empty chair, and basically talk to that child and say, how are you? Is there anything I can help you with? Is there anything you need to let go of? Is there anything you don't understand? Is there anything that you don't love about you? And as that adult, we can counsel that child. And I think there's a lot of healing there. So if we now take our feelings, so we're going to go the opposite direction. I'm saying we're God implanted us with this system of teaching ourselves from our inner knowing, our inner selves. This whole system, we can be our own teachers in a lot of ways. That we have knee-jerk reactions, let's say, to certain things. We all have that. Where we see it on the news, we see it, or something's happening, or somebody says something to us, and immediately triggers an emotional reaction. Those, I think, are the most important ones to take to the headmaster And if the headmaster sometimes will show you and send it back to your body trainer and say, can you see what's happening in your body when you experience those situations? And I think we project those situations out forward into the world around us, and other soulmates will come in and create a relationship and our experience, so we can release that roundy round ride that once it goes in and plants itself in our body and shows us, oh, here's a big something. Where did that come from? Well, it didn't come from outside of ourselves, I don't believe. So it's there, and I've had that experience with, dealing with HIV and AIDS. It was, yes, something very scary and something I had to face, but also was one of my greatest teachers in life. And that's something that I had to look at from the time I was, a young tween trying to fit in with everybody else. And then all that religious and societal negativity, and I'm an abomination, all those things that program into your head. And then we tend to take them on and we have to deal with them later. So this has been a very great learning experience through this whole process. So in closing, I really feel like if we could take daily or, once a week, twice a week, and just take a walk with our feelings, feel our thoughts and think our feelings more, feel what the body feels like when we aren't thinking right, or when we're thinking better, or we're feeling right, or we're feeling better. Give our body more attention to tell us what's going on. I think I feel, and I know that we will definitely rise much, much higher in life and in love. So in closing, what if every interaction or experience was always run through these three wise men before us? Any decisions we made in our life, how would that be?
Thanks, Hans. Appreciate it. And getting into your heart-centered space is wonderful, and really listening to your body. That's the thing you commented on and brought up. And sometimes it's like, oh no, how your body affects your thoughts and your feelings and stuff like that, and changing that attitude can make you feel better. So
Yeah,
it's a good reminder to get into that heart space and the positivity of things, so you actually physically feel better as well.
Yeah, if you just start creating that mantra, feel my thoughts, think my feelings, or think my thoughts, feel my if you got, I think that do it throughout the day.
So Hans, your message today included like something I have heard 3 times in this past week, and that one of them was a Facebook thing to practice the pause. Before you speak, practice the pause. When you're upset, practice the pause. And just giving yourself that time to do that connection that you eloquently spoke about, I think is really important to do. Instead of reacting, to respond, either with your heart or your brain or your body, and all 3. So thanks.
Anybody else?
Something I would have liked to have heard you say to affirm what I think is, in the title, Feel Your Thoughts, Think Your Feelings, I would have liked to be assured that it's okay that you can feel your thoughts and think your feelings, and maybe come to a conclusion or an understanding at the time, but knowing in the next second it can change. And you don't have to accept or agree what you're thinking and feeling. It's just part of the process. I don't know. I'm going to go with that anyhow, for my way of being.
Yeah. I think when we do that, and as we're processing that, I think then we let time, which job, where if it brings that situation or those feelings or those thoughts back up or a situation, then we kind of know, hey, let me go back to that and figure out, why these things in different through different situations or different people, why they keep coming back. That's what I've been doing more and saying, hey, I had this whole trend for about a year, almost 2 years, where I just kept feeling blindsided, and it was from the opposite sex. Sorry, girls. But I finally got deep enough in there where I was mad at a lot of them for the same type of reason, the same type of situation. I was like, wait a minute, I see the pattern. And I went very far back into where this all started, in this whole idea I had that was just constantly kept manifesting in front of me. And I asked for it. I said, show me my blind spots, show me my spots where I don't know and that I am reacting subconsciously. And sure enough, it didn't take for about more than 5 minutes. So, and I think that's what the outer world presents to us in so many ways and helps us. If we can't, or we don't have that, we haven't dug back deep enough, or we keep running into these same situations and relationships and so forth.
And I think we're limited to, we only know what we know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and as far as the limitation that you just mentioned, that's one of the main messages that I'm getting from this talk, is that our conscious mind, the part of ourselves that we actually think with, is limited. And our feelings are much more closely aligned to divine spirit. And so that has access to far more information than our conscious mind has. And when you get the two of them working together, and that's the big thing that I'm getting here, is getting the two working together, communicating both ways, then you have access to far more information that you can actually make use of.
Yeah. And then there's that gut feeling. There's that instant instinct, and like how animals run, pure instinct. But there's emotions. There's, I don't know if animals have thoughts, but, there's definitely that link there. But they seem less interrupted by the mind than we are. It's like our mind, especially as somebody ADHD, is like an LA freeway where you get a chance to get off to the exit. You're just constantly bombarded with your inner stories, the outer stories, you name it. So, I mean, it really, I think that's why animals have become our therapists, and nature is such a therapist, because it's so pure. It's such a pure response to the voice of God.
What you're talking about reminds me a lot of Louise Hay's Heal Your Mind, Heal Your Life.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is necessarily appropriate or not, but I'm going to go with it. So Hans and I spend a lot of time in the mornings.
This is a great site if you can get
on a website called sananda.website. And it's channeled messages from all over the world, and they're very profound. And there's one channel that I particularly like. Her name is Ann Elbers. She channels the angels quite a lot.
Yeah.
And Hans asked me to read messages this morning, but I was running late and had a bunch of things to do, and I didn't get a chance to read it until later in the day. It goes perfectly with what his discussion was today. So if you don't mind, I'd like to just read this
really
little
good
message.
They're all really good.
It says, "My dear friends, we love you so very much. We are the angels. It is time upon your earth to ask yourself, am I a reactor or a creator? Are my feelings based on reactions to what I see around me in my external world, Or are my feelings based on the kinder, happier thoughts I choose to embrace in my inner world? Do I live in the third dimensional paradigm and feel fate is determined by external conditions and how I manage to control the external world? Or am I willing to embrace a fifth dimensional reality wherein I value my focus in my inner world, knowing that as I emanate a vibration, I draw it unto myself, the very same? If you are a reactor, dear ones, you hear the news and you feel controlled by it. You see something that you don't like and you feel helpless to feel anything but sad or angry. You see someone doing something that you don't like and you react in fear, in sadness, or in anger. You can at times be elated when you see what you like, but you will be equally disappointed or upset when you don't. As a reactor, you will feel victimized, enslaved to conditions around you. You will believe that others or situations make you feel a certain way, whether good or bad. And this is indeed the paradigm in which the majority of you were raised, and the paradigm that the majority of people on earth embrace at this given moment. It is, however, a paradigm that disempowers you. It makes you feel limited to endure what you experience in this time, this space, under these conditions, with the human beings around you, dealing with a virus or not, and those variants, and this supply chain, and that politician, and this relative, and that boss. And we could go on and on and on forever. As a reactor, you give your power away to the world around you. As a creator, you know that the vibration that you emanate is what attracts or allows, like vibrational things, people, and situations to you. And when you vibrate with love, you see love, you allow love, and you attract love. And if by chance you bump into the souls whose personas and behaviors you don't like, you know that you can choose to feel good by turning your thoughts to loving the light within them, or that failing by turning your thoughts to anything else, real or imagined, that you do love. You do this, dear ones, because you want to be in charge of how you feel. You want to decide how you vibrate. You want to attract or allow only the vibrations that you choose to attract or allow into your life. We hear your very understandable objections. But I am loving, but not everyone loves me back. I focus on winning the lottery and I can't pay my bills. I focus on kindness and tolerance, but there's so many souls out there that I just can't stand. Dear ones, we hear you. Nonetheless, in these statements, you vibrating with these things that you do not want to attract, you bring them to you. You are upset, you are angry, and you are frustrated and blaming the external world for your feelings. You have been taught, conditioned, and validated in this belief system, and yet we are working as diligently as we can to help you to learn a new way of being, a way that is kinder and more empowered and more beautiful. We are helping to usher you into a new paradigm wherein you take your place as nothing less than the magnificent being, the creator that you are, not the reactor. As you focus on the kind people in the world, you will notice more and more kind people. You'll feel better and better. You imagine and feel kind and loving interactions in all areas of life, more of those will be drawn into your reality. At first, you will only feel better due to your own thoughts, but those better feelings are an indicator that you are vibrating at a higher level. And soon, in this vibration, your outer world will start to mold itself around the inner. As you focus on appreciating all that you have and appreciating the thought of all you dream of having, you start to feel good and you start to feel abundant. And these feelings are your first indication that you are vibrating at a higher level. Soon in this abundant vibration, your outer world will start to mold itself around the inner. What you love and appreciate will always multiply, even if you love your complaints. Far better to love and to appreciate all that you enjoy, or even all that you enjoy thinking about. If you want a loving partner, treat yourself as if you had a loving partner. Treat yourself like the love of your life and look forward to what you will share and how you will uplift them and how you will luxuriate in their love. Enjoy the thought of your future love until it becomes so real and so beautiful that you find yourself emanating only love and vibrating only love and in love before you meet. Then, dear ones, in that high vibration, you'll feel delicious and you'll know beyond a doubt that you are attracting a beautiful relationship. Don't look around and be a reactor. But he or she isn't here. I did that, but they're not here. Stay in the space of being a creator. I feel love so strongly that they can't help but find me. It'll be the icing on the cake when it comes because now I'm in love. Life is beautiful. You'll see couples in love and instead of feeling sorry for yourself or angry at them, you will be a vibrational match to a love that you will think to yourself with great delight. I'm going to have that because I've decided I'm going to create it. And this is a huge contrast, dear ones, from being a reactor who wants someone to react to something that you feel, excuse me, who wants someone to react to so you feel better, and who reacts to the fact that no one has shown up. You can feel the difference as you read our words. Choose the ones that empower you. Your world is in a state of extreme contrast, and this birthing is a long one, dear friends. Humanity, with its tendency to react, has prolonged many situations in your world that need not have been so prolonged. And yet, you are still heading for greater love, greater tolerance, greater freedom. Sometimes change takes longer due to the fact that so many react. There are many things that you disagree with. There are many people with whom you will disagree, and that is okay. But ask yourself often, am I a reactor or a creator? If you catch yourself reacting in a way that makes you feel good, that's fine. But when you catch yourself reacting in a way that does not inspire or make you feel good, remind yourself, I am a divine creator, and I get to choose how I feel. I get to choose where I focus. I get to choose to imagine a better world and feel good about it, or at least a better world for myself. No matter what the world is doing, I get to be happy. No matter what problems I see, I get to focus on solutions. Whether or not I get my way in any given moment, I can find a way to be happy, even if I'm only imagining better. No matter what anyone else is doing or saying, even about me, I get to decide how I feel about it and what I think about me. Dear ones, it is nothing less than the spark of divinity within you reminding you of these very truths. You don't have to insist the world agree with you. You don't have to defend or justify your views. It is nothing less than the spark of divine within you, inspiring you to think the thoughts that feel better, to choose the feelings that feel better, and to always move even closer to the love, joy, abundance, freedom, and empowerment that you seek. While it is a fact you were conditioned to react, we would lovingly debate. It's kinder to create. God bless you. We love you so very much. We are the angels.
What's that site?
It's Sananda.website.
Yeah, I put the link to it in the chat, so it should show up in your Zoom window. And I really love how that piece that you read talks about you could either be a creator or you can be a reactor. But although technically, even when you're reacting, you're still creating, you're just not necessarily in control of what you're creating.
Yeah.
And as most of you know, what Jordan was just talking about as far as the whole relationship thing is, that's exactly the story that I keep telling over and over again about how Lynn and I got together, is just getting into that mind space of I am in a loving relationship. I have this wonderful partner who is exactly what I want in a partner. And then after the visualization, you're sitting around and yeah, she's not here yet, but right now in this moment, she's not here yet either because she's out at a rehearsal, rehearsing with a new band. So that was the mind space that I was in at that time, is that, okay, she may not be here right now, but that's just because she's off doing something else. She'll be here. And so it was that expectation that, yes, I've already created this. Yes, she's going to be a part of my life. I just have to let it happen. And as most of you know the story, it happened fairly quick.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's how it always happens, isn't it?
Yeah. Is Mike?
Glad you went with it, Jordan.
I'm sorry?
Glad you went with it. That was good. That was very
Excellent. I just hate to steal Hans's thunder.
No, please. I always those.
Dr. Wayne Dyer said, change your thoughts, change your life.
a great quote. Sananda, that website. That's Jesus, isn't it? From what I right.
Yep.
Excellent. Good to refer back to that, and so glad you read that tonight.
Thank you, guys. See you soon. Love y'all.
Love you.
Bye.
So it's a great topic.
Good seeing you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.